Welcome to Housing Developments.
I'm Jim Tobin.
And I'm Paul Lopez.
Welcome to it's here. Finally here. Welcome to fabulous Las Vegas.
That's right.
Yeah.
After weeks of talking about this, we are finally
Maybe
here.
even months.
Even months.
Right.
Yeah, we were finally here.
Yeah, doing the show live for those of you who are going to be able to watch us. Welcome to our live in studio audience. Yeah.
There we go.
For those of you listening at home, there's 14 people here.
There's singles and singles of people.
That's right. So. Tens of the thousands.
Yeah, but this is great. I'm really excited that we're here.
Yeah.
The vibe has been fantastic. Day one is behind us.
Almost, right?
Yeah.
The floor is still open for another hour, right?
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
That's right.
But and unfortunately, we can't talk about the numbers. They're embargoed until the end. But we can say life is good.
Life is good.
Speaking of which, our sponsor,
that's
LG, right?
That's right. LG.
Let's build the good life together. They're our sponsor, and we're excited to have them.
Excited to have them. Excited that they've supported the podcast and enable us to do this on the road.
That's right. Absolutely.
That's right.
So the business of housing continues, though. We're all excited. Yeah. We've been having fun, but let's talk a little bit about what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about what happened in South Carolina and talk about the political stuff first, or we'll talk about econ.
Yeah, we'll talk quickly. I think we should introduce our guest.
Oh yeah, that's true. So we'll talk to you in a second, but Kevin Harris,
our special guest.
Right. Thank you for being here.
Stay quiet.
No, we want you to listen. No, that's right. Just nod affirmatively when we make some super deep
thoughts, right? But co-chair of the Leading Suppliers Council, we really appreciate you being here.
Thanks for the invitation.
No, absolutely. So, but let's talk a little bit about the politics of things. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, we're still in the throes of the presidential primary election. No shock, we just came through on Saturday with the South Carolina primary. There's only two names on the ballot on the Republican side, Donald Trump and Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley, of course, the former two-term governor of South Carolina. It was predicted to be kind of a washout, and it was actually a washout. He beat her pretty handily, but she has vowed to march on.
Right.
Next stop, actually today, is the Michigan primary, and then we have Super Tuesday next week. So we're getting to the end of this. We talked about the primary season is going to be really compressed. Obviously, President Biden is going to keep rolling.
Sure.
There's really nobody on the ballot for him. But Donald Trump should get to the point where he has locked up all of the delegates to take the nomination, and then the general campaign will start much earlier than it has.
Why is Nick Haley still in it?
Well, I think there's a couple reasons. One, you're always looking for the next election. You want to show you're a viable candidate.
Right.
I think she is, if any of these lawsuits on President Trump actually catch fire, and then there's really only one lawsuit I think we're watching. That's the January 6th one.
Right.
That's the most dangerous. People don't care about the documents, or if they do, it is not a factor in their elections. But that one's the big one. Whether you call it insurrection or you call it a protest, either way, that one it will have ramifications for the former president. She could be sticking around for that. I think she's trying to prove a point too that Donald Trump does not have all the votes in the Republican Party.
Right.
And if you're a Democrat, she's a kind of a manna from heaven, so to speak, because she continues to talk about all of those disenfranchised Republicans from the Trump brand. Now, a lot of those voters are going to go to her or go to him, but a lot aren't. And whether they go to Biden or they stay at home, her voters will have some impact on this race. So.
Oh, interesting. All right. Well, so that's it politically, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically blotting out the sun in terms of the politics,
right? That's right. Yeah, it's a big enchilada.
Yeah, right. We got some economic data.
Yeah.
New home sales came out. A little bit weaker, 1.5% up, down, so now we're trading around 661,000 units per year.
Yeah.
It's all about interest rates, right? We had a little bit of tick up in interest rates last month, and I think it kind of spooked people.
Yeah.
And things came in a little bit softer than we expected.
Yeah, interest rates ticked up. Inflation numbers weren't great. Questions about whether the Fed continues on its path to cut 3 or just twice, and now the timing of it. There was this feeling at the beginning of the year, maybe one of those cuts would have been as soon as March. That's off the table now. So now we really are starting to push this in the back half of the year, which is what we had predicted all along. Not you and me per se, but Rob Dietz, our Dr. Robert Dietz, is predicted to be more in the second half of the year. So So again, no surprises, but again, we want to see robust numbers, at least that steady march to normal.
That's right, right. And speaking of forecasts, he did his presentation. I think today was it? Yeah. He's saying 4.7% up for the year for single family.
Yep, that's right.
That's a pretty healthy clip. I mean,
especially when we're coming out of right. And I think that you can feel at IBS.
That's right.
There's a lot of optimism in the aisles.
Yep.
Clearly, the exhibitors. Kevin, we'll talk to you about this, but the exhibitors feel good, but obviously everybody's really focused on being prepared for the future when I think we're going to really hit our stride in another year or so.
Absolutely. Well, let's get to our guest.
Yes, we should do that.
He's been waiting long enough.
Waiting. He's been nodding affirmatively as his job is. That's right.
I did okay with that.
You did great.
You did exactly what we told you to do. Yes, I appreciate
that's right. LG might even give you a free TV for your appearance. I don't know. Just sorry, LG don't.
We keep wishing that for ourselves, but it hasn't happened yet. So Kevin, really appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
And look, we just want to hear from you. I mean, obviously, you're the co-chair of the Leading Suppliers Council. Yep. Well, first of all, why are you in that position? Like, what motivated you to go for that?
Well, the Leading Suppliers Council is 120 of some of the most well-respected architectural product manufacturers and suppliers. And as a group, our commission really is to support the builder community members of the NAHB. So our goal, it's kind of like if you help others reach their goal, you'll reach your goal. So we support the builders and the remodeler members of the NAHB, and we support each other. There's a lot of evidence that peer review groups can have a meaningful impact in the success of a business.
Sure.
So with the Leading Suppliers Council, we have a group of product manufacturers. Some compete against each other, some don't, but what we all have in common is this goal to help strengthen the members of the NAHB.
That's awesome.
And in so doing, we get to know them better as business professionals. We look for ways that we can help them to do the things they're doing well better and the things that maybe they could use some improvement on. A lot of our firms are quite large in the LSC,
right.
And we have resources, both people and other resources, that we can help direct to the builders and remodelers. So as summing it all up, we want to give back.
That's incredible. Great. Now you were nodding, steadily when we were talking about the vibe here. So day one for you, assumably it went very well.
Today was fantastic. I've noticed over the last few years as we've come out of COVID that the energy has just been like rising.
Right.
And this is the best yet. I'm so excited. People, the builders, remodelers, they're coming up to our booth. They're coming out to our outdoor display. And there's an energy. There's an excitement about this year and next year. And it's just so fun to be a part of that.
Oh, no, absolutely.
That's great. Yeah, that's awesome. Tell us a little bit about your country. Your company. sorry.
I live in the United States.
Yeah, that's right. Tell us about AGS Stainless, please.
So we are a custom railing manufacturer. And we differ from other railing manufacturers in the industry in that we work exclusively with stainless steel.
Yeah.
And we're part of this new initiative in construction, off-site fabrication. So there's been a lot of evidence that the construction industry can add efficiencies of scale to the construction process by allowing the builders to not be so dependent on highly skilled labor. So with our product, custom railing, typically there's a fabricator with 20 years experience that does all this stuff. Super expensive because he could be doing anything that involves metal fabrication.
Yeah.
What we do is we prefabricate the railing system for the consumer. We number all the components, we ship the railing out, and then the least experienced person on the builder's team can do the install. Yeah. You don't need the fabricator with decades of experience. So off-site fabrication is a growing trend in the construction industry.
Can I ask you a little bit about that? Because I actually had a conversation today about the economics of it. And you hit it on the nail on the head that off-site construction or fabrication could help with those labor concerns we have, right? A consistent and persistent lack of skilled labor in the construction trades. But what does it take for the builders to recognize that that's out there and take a leap to do it in order for you to have the investment in the company to provide? I feel like it's a chicken and egg thing.
Yeah.
So talk to a little bit about the market and how you go about it, attracting those builders, but more importantly, how do you looking at growth?
So we've discovered that anytime you're trying to introduce something new into an industry that is well established, it really takes education. So most builders doing residential construction are not humongous companies. They're smaller firms. And to be profitable, what you're trying to do is do the things you do better year after year after year so that you can raise your profitability. Introducing new things is a little bit scary because you got to ramp up your team.
Sure.
And that kind of works against profitability. So when you're introducing a new concept, you really have to educate your market on why this will actually, the investment they're making in time and energy to learn this new process, why it actually is going to save them money, make them more money down the road.
Yep.
So we spend a lot of time, everyone that's in offsite fabrication, offsite construction, with educating our clients on the future. And again, it's a skilled labor shortage. All the builders are going to tell you that's the number one issue they face. But if you're able to say, look, this super complicated thing that would be all built on site, we'll build the whole thing offsite. We'll ship it to you. You plug it in, you're done. Yeah. They get that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And if that's your strategy, then, the International Builder Show, then it has to be like one of your greatest tactics of trying to get there, right? Because you're getting yourself in front of so many of our members and builders at large.
That is totally true. And, one of the reasons I encourage other product manufacturers to join the Leading Suppliers Council is because it will give you a platform. So between all the networking, between the presentations that you can be a part of at the centrals, between the main presentations, NAHB does a call out each year before IBS and says, what's going on in your industry? How can you educate our members? Yep. Send us what you got. And that content is prepared by us. And we get the opportunity, we want you to buy our product, but most of the content is all delivered product generically. We're talking about how to solve a problem that your business may be dealing with some product solution, regardless of which manufacturer you choose.
Sure.
So that gives us an opportunity to expose builders, remodelers to something they may not have known much about. And it gives them an opportunity to check it out kind of a little bit from a distance. You're not just talking to a salesperson, you're sitting in a presentation, you're like, hey, that resonates.
Right.
And if it's of interest to you, you go up after the presentation and say, hey, I want to talk more.
Yeah, that's great.
Can I ask how many years AGS has been at the Builder Show?
This is our 7th year.
That's
nice.
Great.
Yeah, 7th year.
So clearly you're seeing value.
There's no question. It is probably our most anticipated event. So number one, you as a product manufacturer thinking of joining the Leading Suppliers Council or not, number one, the connections that you will make from the other product manufacturers is invaluable. Number two, we have this provision with the Leading Suppliers Council where you can be assigned as a liaison to any of the other NAHB committees and councils, remodelers, single family builders, multifamily. And so depending on how your business is structured, depending on what your target market is, commercial, residential, et cetera, you can assign people from your company to those committees and then working at a round table with those builders and remodelers, they're going to share with you the agenda, what they're trying to accomplish, what they're working against.
Right.
You'd be surprised the insights that our product manufacturers can share right there at the round table, right? You're not trying to sell anybody anything. You're just trying to help.
Yeah.
And the builders, wow, thank you. So it's a wonderful provision, the Leading Suppliers Council.
That's incredible. Kevin, we truly appreciate your time.
Yeah.
It's fantastic that you're here.
Yeah.
You've been of great service for many years. We've played with and talked to each other, several times. So thank you so much for
Thanks,
being
Paul.
here.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care.
Thanks, Kevin. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Now, a little bit different here, right?
Yeah.
A little surprise.
Yeah.
For the first time ever in this podcast, we have 2 guests. But you're going to have to wait. So we'll be right back.
Well, welcome back to Housing Developments, to the second half of our Vegas podcast. So
That's right.
it is now our pleasure to bring in Tom Winters. Please, thank you. Welcome to the podcast.
Sherman Williams is in the house, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Welcome. Welcome to Housing Developments. We're happy to have you.
Yeah, happy to be here.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, so again, how long have you been advertising and being at the show?
So we've been a member we've been an LSC member for 17 years, but Sherwin-Williams has been around for 158 years.
Right.
Every IBS we've been at.
That's great. That's amazing.
So you've been at IBS and a part of the Leading Suppliers Council for 17 years.
Correct.
Is that right?
And I've been personally a member for 15 years.
That's fantastic.
That's great. Well,
So-
we appreciate your support.
No,
No
100%.
doubt.
Oh, money well spent.
Okay, so tell us about that. What brings you back year after year?
So I think Kevin did a really great job explaining a lot of it. But for us, the number one aspect is just networking with other manufacturers, right? Looking for best practices. But we love having that opportunity to be with the some very nice builders who build some very nice showcase homes. Like this year it was SunWest. They did a phenomenal job.
That's great.
We would love to work with them in the future, there's just a sense of pride when you do the New American Home. And in the past we've done the New American Remodel as well.
Right. Yeah. So you've been here. You've been coming to the show. Let's talk a little bit about your product. And what are you announcing at the show? Because usually you come up with some pretty cool stuff that comes out of the show.
Yeah, so we introduce new products all the time.
Yeah.
We have the pleasure of advertising on the Sphere this year.
Yeah,
in Las
awesome.
Vegas.
About that, yeah.
And so we let our colors show, right?
Nice.
And
Can't wait to see it.
and we have a lot of fun with that. Yep.
Yeah.
In
That's
fact, we're going to put some pictures of it right now on the podcast. So those of you who are watching this on video, here's some cool pictures.
Yeah.
But something that you said before we got on fascinated me. It's not just housing for you guys, right? So you guys do a plethora of things.
Yeah,
right?
we're on everything, right?
Okay, almost literally. So let run down the list.
So the Hollywood sign, the Golden Gate Bridge, the Air Force One, the White House, right? So for us locally here, we did the Sphere. We did the whole exterior of the Sphere has our coatings on it.
That's fantastic.
That is amazing. Yeah, I mean, I very naive. It's just wall paint, right? But coatings, right? That's really what it is, and it's it's got to be a fantastic business to be in, right? I mean,
So
tell us about how that works.
Yeah, so here's how we're really dialed in, really with NAHB. A lot of the cabinet manufacturers use our stain because we own Minwax.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the flooring manufacturers use our stain because the same thing, right? The appliances manufacturers, when it's got a paint, most cases they're probably using us, right? So going back to the cabinet manufacturers too, if it's a painted surface, most likely it's us, right? So we cover the earth. That's our goal, and that's what we do.
I love it.
I love that tagline.
What tell us what you're looking in we'll give you a crystal sphere.
Yeah,
Let's call it
okay.
that. What do you see the industry in the next couple of years, 3 to 5 years? Let's call it.
It's a great time, I think, to be a builder in this country, because if you look at the resale market's not where it's been historically. Right. And if you talk to most builders, they'll tell you that their number one competitor isn't necessarily another builder. It's the resale market.
Yeah,
right. But people still got to move, right? Their babies still get born. People still get married. Kids eventually move out of a house. Unfortunately, there's divorce, there's death, there's whatever. And so there's still always change happening, right? So the best game in town right now is a new construction home, right? And then what's nice is a lot of the builders have the ability to buy down the rates, right? So, the biggest thing that affects affordability is the rate, right? I mean, obviously you want to keep your price points down as much as possible, but so if the rate is, let's just say today it's 6.5, some of the builders are able to get you down to a 5.5. Right. And if we get the 2 rate cuts that we're hoping for this year, it's going to go back down again, right?
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So day one, how was day one for you for the show?
Really strong.
Yeah.
We're really happy with the foot traffic that we've had today.
That's great.
Oh,
That's great.
And the vibe too, right? I mean, it's not just
everybody's optimistic. It's funny when I talk to, because for my job, I call them let's say top 200 builders, right? So you can, from builder number 1 to 200, you kind of get the vibe from them, right?
Yeah.
Every builder I talk to says 2024 it's going to be a good year for them, right?
That's great. Yeah.
What's interesting for me is how excited they get about 2025.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what we've been preaching for a while
right?
now. Yeah.
Then you look at the shortage of housing, the demand for housing, as we say, 1.5, shortage of million homes.
Yep.
I think, there is no crystal ball, but the opportunity for a good run, I think, is 10 years.
I think that's right.
Yeah.
That's what the demographics that underpin the home buying population, the age, it seems like we're in that sweet spot. This cohort of, I think we're millennials now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
They're in the perfect home buying age.
That's right.
Right.
We know that they want to buy homes. They grew up probably in a single family home. We want to make sure that they've got rental opportunities to save their money and then buy a house.
Yep.
So we see that too, and I think that's why we really think we're kind of getting ready to head in this. I call it a renaissance sometimes of home
Sure.
building. It took us.
It's a unique time.
It is. A question for you. So one of the things that we talk a lot about is whether the product manufacturers are ready.
Oh, we're ready.
I love to hear it. Yeah, when demand goes, we think it's going to go, right? Whatever that number looks like. Interest rates get into the 5s. They certainly settle into that range probably sometime next year.
Right.
And people realize we're not going back down to the 4, 3, or 2% rates.
Those days are over.
That the switch is going to flip. And one of the things we're worried about is whether the supply chains are ready.
Yeah.
Lumber, but coatings too. So tell me how you're getting ready if demand really turns in 25.
Right. So we had two huge things that impacted us back to back. One was that freeze in Texas,
Yes.
right? And it took out the resin suppliers.
Yep.
And nobody realized how many products had resin in them. And then all of a sudden they found out real quick.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So one of the things we were able to do, we actually bought a resin manufacturer.
Oh, interesting.
And so it doesn't, they could not handle all of our business, but they can handle a good amount.
Right.
And so we have an East Coast, West Coast location.
Nice.
We then bought about 65 tanker trucks to get the product to our plants.
Wow.
Right. And these are all Sherwin-Williams employees.
Right.
All of our drivers are.
Right.
We own our own distribution centers. We open a new Sherwin-Williams store every 4 days in the United States.
Wow.
We have over 5,000 stores. 90% of America is within 15 minutes of a Sherwin-Williams store.
Wow.
And so we're continuing to grow every
That's
day,
great.
right? So then we took our 10-year plan and knocked it out in 3 years. We've done a lot of plant expansions.
Wow.
And so one plant in particular, just the plant expansion alone is bigger than one of our competitors' total business.
Wow.
So we are
Not to
geared
brag.
up.
Right. Yeah. So you're ready. So that's
we are
awesome.
more than ready.
That's great. Wow.
So basically, you control everything from soup to nuts, right?
Yeah.
Everything. you
We
got it.
own it from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Some other little quick tidbits, too, that we literally invented the paint can. The resealable paint can was invented by us.
Wow.
Oh,
We invented water-based paint. It had never happened before. We invented that. We invented low VOC and zero VOC paints. Nobody had ever done that before. We invented the paint roller that had never existed before.
Wow.
So we're always innovative. We're always looking for new products. We're always looking for new ways to enhance our business and to be a better service to our customers.
I got to tell you, I really appreciate Tom because he doesn't even do the humble brag. He's just like,
yeah.
I'm just going to throw it out there.
It's
This is everything
just
we've got.
factual.
Yeah, that's right. Just spitting facts, man.
That's right. Well, Tom, we really appreciate your time today.
thanks.
I mean, it was fantastic
absolutely.
meeting you.
And thanks for your as a co-chair of LSC. Thank you for your support of the industry, the trade show, and but thank you. It's great to have you here.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
great. That's
Thank
great.
you.
I think that's it.
I know. I think so. It's really great to be here at IBS. And for those of you who are watching this, hopefully you're watching it from your phones because you're already at the show.
Yeah.
And for those of you who are not here, get on a plane. You still have 2 days to get to IBS.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Another shout out to our main sponsor, LG, LG Pro Builder. Let's put the full
That's
name
right.
out there, right? Let's build the good life together.
Indeed.
All
Let's
right.
do that. Well,
So
thank you.
that's it for us this
All right.
week.
Yeah.
I'm Paul Lopez.
I'm Jim Tobin.
Take care.
See you.